I just remember it as an entirely idyllic childhood. Running wild across the island, sort of messing around on the beach all the time. It was just a very beautiful place to grow up, and it really gets in your blood. And as an adult, I always thought that I'd move back here because it's such a stunning place. And that's what I've done. I've come back and taken over my uncle's farm. He's retired, with my parents, sheep and cows. And my partner's moved here with me. We've just had a child, and we've just built this house. And we're still building it, but it's nearly finished. And we're really happy here, and we wouldn't have had this opportunity anywhere else, I don't think.
I suppose in that first year when we started making houses available, giving people security, mainly on the land too, but mainly on people's houses, I think that was the key thing. There was definitely a shift in the way people started thinking about Eigg, and they suddenly started realising that, you know, they could make a future here, they could maybe start a business, and they could see further than the next sort of 2 months. And I think that's reflected really well in the fact that quite a few of our children came back to live here when they saw things were happening. You know, that it sets off a whole ball rolling, which is brilliant for Eigg. Those young people grew up here, so they've got a real sense of what the island's all about. And now they're going on to have children of their own, so, you know, we can see a whole generational thing happening, which is just, is brilliant.
The Island Trust realised that the key to sort of having families settle here was if they had a sort of sense of ownership about the place, if they had somewhere to live. And so devised this shared equity scheme called the Eigg Roll, where you can apply to the trust for a quarter-acre plot of land and effectively get it for free and use any money you have to build your property. And it gives me a feeling of security, a feeling of just belonging that I've not experienced anywhere else. I felt really disempowered in London. I didn't feel like I was part of any sort of real community. I didn't feel that anything that I did would affect any sort of change around me. And that's the difference between living somewhere like that and living on Eigg, whereas you can affect real change to how things are run here.
The campaign to buy Eigg was mainly based on security of tenure. I mean, basically, the biggest thing we wanted at that point in time was for everybody who lived here to have security on either a farm, a business, or a house. It's a partnership between the residents, the Highland Council and the Scottish Wildlife Trust, and it's a partnership that's worked really, really well because we've got a bit of council input, we've got environmental input, but most important of all, we've got the input of the people who live here.
mean, one of the things that unites people around the planet, in fact, is people's connection with the land. And right around our planet, north and south, east and west, people have struggled with the land, and Scotland is no different in that context. Our history tells us that if you separate people from the land, they suffer disadvantage generation after generation. But if you can keep people connected to the land or reconnect them when they've once lost the land, then you offer them advantage down through the future generations. The global call to action is really important because it helps connect people around the world, but it principally helps raise awareness that land struggles continue all around the planet. People today are still losing their lives in part of the world to fight for land causes. And we need to mobilise more people, more communities, more civil action, more governments taking an interest in what they can do to strengthen community land rights and Indigenous peoples' rights. If we do that successfully, we create a more sustainable planet and we create more opportunities for more people wherever they happen to live. In Scotland, we've set a target of doubling our land and community ownership by 2020, and that's exactly the same target that the global call for action has also set. And if we all focus on that, we've got a real chance of moving things forward and securing a better future for people.